Okay, peace. I got this story I gotta do right quick. So let me get right to it. I got your man's Martin Luther King Jr. birthday is coming up. And I've been thinking, since I stay, talking about the Pan-Africans and the Aborigines, leaders Dane Calloway and Sarah Suit and Seti, what about the Negroes? While the black Africans and the Aborigines is fighting, the Negro Christian sellouts is in the cut, getting check after check, just chewing on chicken bones, spitting them out, eating real good in the hood. So we got MLK Day coming up. And MLK, Martin Luther King, is a controversial figure in Negro and black society, because they fought against the Jim Crow laws and they fought to end segregation. So Martin Luther King Jr., he wanted to live with the Europeans. He didn't like living away from Europeans. Him and his friends, they went to this special college or this special school that taught them how to infiltrate white culture and be a part of white culture. And if you don't believe me, I have the facts. So that is why I am questioning Martin Luther King's legitimacy and whether he was a real leader that we should respect and honor, or someone that we should exile from the minds and the hearts of our children. So we can start the resistance now, people, or we can waste time with the Aboriginals just waking up 2 years ago, or we can waste time on Africans and African culture. Because, my people, did you know that the African Union, my people, is in America, but the African Union ain't doing nothing for African Americans? And I'm about to do a video on that next, because guess what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start doing a video on just one topic instead of 20 topics at once. I want to focus on one thing at a time. And today we focusing on Martin Luther King and all of his shenanigans. So let's go in on Martin Luther King, and I can make this video short and I can just do other videos. Because people is only looking at my videos that's an hour long. They only looking at those videos that's an hour long for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and they might come back another day. They not watching those whole videos. Because if you was watching those whole videos, you would already see that your leaders is a fraud. That your leaders play too much if you was actually watching my videos. But so since you not watching my videos, I have to just put a particular title out addressing a certain issue one by one. See, I'm moving too fast, but for those of you who have subscribed and do comprehend my videos, the 600 plus subscribers, you are awesome. Because 600 out of millions of potential subscribers, you are smarter than them and you are faster than them. You caught on quicker than them. So since you caught on quicker than them, I am going to avalanche you with the information that you've been missing. So we have the Highlander Research and Education Center based in New Market, Tennessee, founded in 1932 by activist Miles Horton and Don West, an educator, and Methodist minister James A. Dombrowski. It was originally located in the community of Summerfield in Grundy County. So basically this research education center, it spawned the likes of Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King. It basically taught these people how to be civil and how to gain civil rights. So let me teach you while I inform you about the sellouts that we are up against. So we have civil rights definition. It is the rights of citizens to political and social freedom and equality. So it is the right in the city, in any city or town that is based with federal and state laws, that any worker or consumer with the U.S. dollar has the right. So if you spending the money, if you consuming, if you paying taxes, civilly you are entitled. By civil, because by contract you are covered because it's civil rights. they cannot deny you. So if somebody open up a business using US dollars, they cannot deny you. You understand? So what Martin Luther King them did was learn how to get into the system that was set up for the Europeans. And it was called integration. So Rosa Parks, prior to her historic role in the Montgomery bus boycott, as well as providing training for many other movement activists, including members of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, Septima Clark, Ann Braden, Martin Luther King Jr., James Bevel, Hollis Watkins, Bernard Lafayette, Ralph Abernathy, and John Lewis, who is a congressman from Georgia. And this was in the 1950s. Backlash against the school's involvement with the civil rights movement led to the school's closure by the state of Tennessee. So you can look up the Highlander Research Center. What I'm going to do is look up who actually built it. Okay. Who built? Okay, here you go. I think it's right here. So we have Lillian Wyckoff Johnson. And who else it says? It just says Lillian Wyckoff. Let's look up Lillian Wyckoff. Let's see who she is. So she founded this lovely organization so Negroes can go and fight white supremacy and integrate in white society. So we have Lillian Wyckoff. Lillian Wyckoff is an educator for Tennessee State University, and she went on ahead and started the Highlander Folk Academy so good Negroes could get the opportunities that they wasn't getting in white society. You understand me? So what they did was learn from her and others, the other names that I just said, Martin Luther King now, and Rosa Parks. It says it right here. So she went to the Highlander Folk School, and this is a social justice leadership training school. So for social justice, because civil rights is social justice. So they can't be, marking you and making you look stupid in the city. So basically, you had your own lands, and you could have went back to your community after you did your job. Say, for instance, if you working in a steel mill, or if you work downtown City Hall, you still had your Negro communities. And you could have stayed in those communities, but, it was a better opportunity in the white community. You understand what I'm saying? So Rosa Parks and them took the initiative, because they knew white people was getting them federal grants and them federal loans and federal monies. And they felt like Negroes should get them too. But I disagree. I don't think you should have rode on no buses with no European. I don't think you should have got no grants to open a business in the European city. I think you should have just opened up your own towns. And as a matter of fact, there's a such thing as Freeman Town. So we got Freeman towns. Look up Freeman towns. See, we learning and exposing. So we got Freeman. Come on now. I said towns. Negro. Let's just say Negro. That'll pop something up when you say Negro. Okay, free Negro, Freeman, all black towns. So we have, Freeman towns. It say black towns, but we know that's the government blocking you out of history. That's all black mean is they blotting you out. They hoping that you forget who you really is, because this is Indian territory of Oklahoma from the Trail of Tears relatives, and they call them black and African American, which is denationalization. And we on top of that, and that is why we are exposing Martin Luther King and the rest of these jokers instead of wasting times on the small dog. See, the small dogs is Sarah Suit and Seti and Dane Calloway. Those are the little puppies. You understand? The big dogs is Martin Luther King, because this joker's birthday is coming up and he's about to make $1 billion while he's dead. So he makes $1 billion every year while everybody has to stay home from the holiday from making money. We all get to sit back and watch his family take in more revenue for his cause. So he died. He didn't die in vain, or he did die in vain because he lied. He's a liar, and I'm about to prove he's a liar. Because there's no need in having Europeans think for you or open up, the door for you to come into their society if you already knew, that they didn't like you. It's no mixing in. So basically, that's why I'm condemning him. I'm about to condemn him, but I'm not going to condemn him like the disrespectful young niggas will condemn him or how they would condemn Farrakhan. Niggas got receipts, on who they accusing. But this receipt right here by far is the worst receipt that you would want to have as a so-called black leader. Because the Rothschilds funded the civil rights movement. The Negroes were far too successful, segregated. So Negroes was doing good in certain aspects. The ones that was not Freemasons and the Negroes that was not in their society. If you're not in their society, Negro is code word for you're the enemy. Negro and black and colored means they're not with us, so we have to get them with us or we're going to attack them and exploit them. So the civil rights movement was funded by the Rothschilds so that they can get a close tab on niggas like Martin Luther King, and the federal government can watch more and more of you niggas. Because y'all was so shut out from white society, they didn't know you from Adam. They didn't know who they was looking at. Far as Bumpy Johnson and them going to great gangsters of the Prohibition, they could be looking at one of the gangsters and, one of the OGs who really didn't care about white supremacy. So they didn't really know nothing about your business. So getting up with this civil rights movement caused enough controversy so the federal government can watch all of y'all. And based on Martin Luther King integrating with them, that's how they actually watching y'all, because they don't have jurisdiction over y'all. They got y'all to sign y'all rights over because of this joker. Now, I asked the question, my people, why integrate in a society of people that want to hang you and burn you and put bullets in your head instead of getting a loan from one of the richest men on earth, the Rothschilds? Okay, why not get a loan and just put buses in your own town? That would have been the advantage Martin Luther King had on white supremacy, because he could have drove his own bus. You know what I'm saying? Because it's towns around Birmingham, Salem, Tuskegee. Tuskegee always been a Negro town without a lot of whites. Salem always been a Negro town. It's just when you cross the bridge at Salem is when you have problems. So check this out. Why couldn't this dude, if he cared so much about a nigga's cause, why he couldn't just give a loan out to a nigga like Rockefeller gave the vice lords in Chicago? Let's look that up. Rockefeller gives grant to vice lords. See, I'm touching on the information. That, the distractoids, the distractors is not going to tell you nothing about. See, I touched this down the other day. But you're not going to get it because you're going to be scared of that video that I put down. Because I'm about to do a video on the Folks Nation next. They next. And a lot of people not going to click on that because, the negative connection to his name. So I'm finna look up, what's his name? The Rockefeller funding it. Here you go. So, in 1970, two Vice Lords leader Alfonso Alfred and Bobby Gore applied for a $270,000 grant from Rockefeller Foundation. Let's look them up. So we have the Rockefeller Foundation giving so-called gangsters, or, I know the Vice Lords are not gangsters or bad people. They are the CVLN Incorporated. So they are legally and lawfully registered, and they are the conservative Vice Lord branch. These are like a certain type of Islamic regal people, something like Moors and Moorish. So that's why I'm telling you not to listen to Dane Calloway and none of these other jokers out here talking about Moors and Moorish. You don't know what you're talking about. So a Moorish sect group, a Muslim group, got $275,000 from Rockefeller Foundation. So we got the Jews all in the business. We have your man's Martin Luther King sitting up here with $1 trillion Jew. So what I'm saying is, they got all this money. Why not build up a town away from white supremacy? So basically they attack white supremacy using these niggas, or whatever the white people call themselves, and all of these is Masons in this picture. They have Masonic codes and symbols that they all must abide by. Ain't nobody in this picture not a Mason, a Freemason. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm breaking it down. Martin Luther King Day should not be celebrated. And I'm the first one to echo it loud. I know some of y'all said it back in the day and posted it on the Facebook or the YouTube or the Google or wherever else. I know some of y'all did. But what I'm going to do is echo it loud. This nigga goddamn birthday should not be celebrated. You understand what I'm saying? Why is this nigga up here taking pictures with the richest man on earth trying to segregate with some motherfuckers who want to kill us instead of getting a major loan because we spending all this money anyway they exploiting? We can handle our own town. So somebody lying, nigga. We got the Highlander Folk School started by Lillian, whatever her name is, Wycliac. You know, I get the name back later when I go read up on it. And we have every nigga that they put in front of you is a Mason. It's no way around it. It's a Freemason. They been exposed to Illuminati years ago, but you fall for these jokers. And it's nothing I can do for you. I can only do something for my 600 subscribers. If, you know, some of them paying attention, some of them not. You know, they subscribe to me. So I'm sitting up here sending them the content. And my friends and families, you know, they deal with me. But on YouTube and Google, it's my obligation to deliver the news to my people. So you have Eugene Walcott, a.k.a. Louis Farrakhan, calling the white man the devil. He is nothing but the devil. You know, but Louis Walcott, what he went on ahead and did was understood how niggas think. What that nigga did was he went and got the devil. He went and got the devil and told you he was God and you believed him. So once he was able to pull that off, you know, it was a wrap because they all Masons. They all laughing at you with the straight face. They the best at it. It's like it's a joke, nigga. It's no game, nigga. So the white man is the devil for like 30 years, having you niggas out here mad as hell. You know, now the white man is the devil. Now he's God, according to the Nation of Islam. So Martin Luther King is in the same boat. Now let's do an IQ test. Let's see how smart you niggas is. This is Ron Karenga, and he created Kwanzaa, laughed Ron Karenga, like a teenager who's just divulged a deeply held precious secret. People think it's African, but it's not. I wanted to give black people a holiday of their own, so I came up with Kwanzaa. I said it was African because, you know, black people in this country wouldn't celebrate it if they knew it wasn't American, if they knew it was American. Also, I put it around Christmas because I knew that's when a lot of blacks would be partying. Holly West, 1978, Washington Post. Here is the man that made up Kwanzaa. And of course, I'm going to be doing a separate video on that. But I'm just dropping a knowledge drop while I expose a couple of coons. So I'm going to do another story on who actually administered the syphilis on the Tuskegee Airmen. Somebody already aired this story, but I have to echo it because you forget. So this is Eunice Rivers, a true bed wench. And she gave out the medicine. I mean, the stuff that killed the Tuskegee Airmen and infected them. And as you can see her with the white terrorists infecting them. And it was called The Study to See Syphilis Untreated in the Negro. That's exactly what the study was called. And Tuskegee is right by Birmingham and Salem, Alabama, and right by Muskogee, Georgia. I live down here. This is my homeland. And if I'm from here, it's my homeland, and I grew up raised in Chicago, of course I would know my people about my homeland and my birthplace of Chicago and Alabama, Mississippi, and Atlanta. I've lived in all these places. So I'm telling you that Martin Luther King is a Freemason sellout. So you don't have to accept it because they telling you that they Masons. They telling you the sororities and fraternities that they are part of, Rosa Parks, Coretta Scott, Mae Jemison, they letting you know that they all, you know, they have to renounce their sororityship and fraternityship. They can't just, you know, they got to renounce it and fill out papers. This is deeper than what you know. So he's hanging with the trillionaire billionaire, you know, eating the butter biscuits. Or he could be an evil demon, an evil drug addict demon who really didn't give a damn about you and didn't get mine. You know, and didn't mind to do those stupid speeches as a Mason he is, but he went against the grain and they killed his ass once he realized he was denationalizing y'all. So this video don't have to be long because I'm only going to ask the question, my people. Should his birthday be celebrated because he's human? And I know he deserves, sympathy for getting his head blown off. Me, I say no, my people. Because if somebody tell me the white man is the devil and then bring a white man to tell me he's God, I would assume he's playing with me. And in Chicago, we don't play that. And in Chicago, they pulled this off. So you can imagine how pissed off our generation is. The young brothers and sisters in Chicago that y'all think is going nuts because of jokers like this. That is a joker. A fucking joker who said that he was zapped into a spaceship over the Mayan pyramids. It's a video that you probably can YouTube. And when I find it, I'll probably do a video on that in particular. But this dude right here said that he went to Mexico and was zapped into Mayan pyramids. On the exact video, I asked, well, what in the hell was your nationality? What did they tell you? What type of technology did they try to give you? What type of knowledge? And all he could say was, it's you people are being developed. You cannot get information, right off the wham. You gotta wait. It's like shining the light on somebody who been in the dark for too long. You gotta slowly give them the light. So he's not gonna give you all the information about the spaceships and the aliens that visit him. And for that, I hold him in contempt of the courts of popularity and of the people, of the indigenous people, for disrespecting the courts. And on top of that, I hold him guilty for lying and traitorism. So the U.S. black folk is equally guilty because you should know more about the system than the white folks do. I mean, here's a country that put smallpox in the blankets of Indian women and children, injected 600 black men with syphilis, and you question where AIDS come from. What kind of fool is you, asks Dick Gregory. And I ask too, what type of fool is you? Because you let Black Lives Matter be ran by lesbian and gays, and it's supposed to be about brothers out here getting gunned down. And we need brothers to have more children, strong children. We don't want weak children from weak people. And black women nowadays don't mind having babies with weak people. They don't mind as long as their hearts feel good or something. So we got the Highlander folk school. We got the Negro sellouts out here playing. And I'm on top of this U.S. nigger industry that must be dissolved. Because the niggas is being used and brainwashed. Because while the white man Jesus gave him nuclear bombs and control of nations, your Jesus only gave you the gospel music and diabetes. So I don't know what the hell type of Jesus you working with. Because the Negro Christians that they put in front of you done sold you out. So, it's some mental illness going on. And I'm on top of the game. I'm on top of the lames. And I'm not here for the fame. I'm only here to expose these fucking criminals. So you see the signs and symbols. Martin Luther King homeboys is all Freemasons. But you still gonna tune in and shed a tear for that motherfucking Martin Luther King on his birthday. I asked you to go do what you do. Go do what you was gonna do. Because those Negroes up under Martin Luther King is just like these Hotep ass niggas. They claim to be Egyptian and know they self with the snake symbol. But then they want to act like, right next door, that the Mercy tribe ain't putting plate lips in their ears and their mouth, drinking cow blood. So the Negroes only want to claim one part of Africa. Don't let them fool you into thinking that all of Africa is Egyptian. That's just a small part of Africa. And it's all type of Africans that look like that over there. And that's why I'm telling y'all we not African. These is two different people. And they want to denationalize you. And they want you to claim someone else's heritage. And I am here to go against that. Because Martin Luther King Jr. is a motherfucking spy. A spy and a infiltrating idiot. And while talking to Harry Belafonte asked him, "What's the matter, Martin? You seem very agitated." He said, well, first of all, let me let y'all know who Harry Belafonte is. He's like the Will Smith of his day, except for he married a European woman. And Harry Belafonte fought for integration because he had a European woman. and he wanted to mix in with the whites. So they used the likes of Martin Luther King Jr. to help the integration, and they were funded by wealthy Jews and other donors. So he asked him what was matter, and he said he was agitated. He said, well, I am, because I've come upon a thought that I don't know how to deal with at this moment. I said, well, what is it? He said, we fought long for integration. It looks like we're going to get it. I think we'll get the laws, he says, but I'm afraid that I've come upon something that I don't know quite what to do with. I'm afraid that we're integrating into a burning house. At that moment, he should have got away from everybody and got to warning everybody that, I'm an idiot. Instead of integrating, I should have went on ahead and just got our own loan. You see the Africans getting the loans from the Chinese. They getting loans, but instead this motherfucker wanted to just integrate and sign his rights over to somebody else, like the idiot he is. So all black leaders are Freemasons. There's no way around it. Marcus Mosiah Garvey Jr. was a staunch proponent of the black nationalism and Pan-Africanism movement. He founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League. So other groups like Rastafarians and Nation of Islam, these movements are Masonic fronts. All of them. I don't give a damn who get in their feelings. That means you just not waking up. You not woke. You don't know how to wake up. You probably never gonna wake up with all that mucus on your brain. So if every last one of these jokers is Masonic Freemason leaders, what in the hell you think they gonna do for you besides get a donation from your ass? What nation you think they're going to start? They're not going to start no nation except for donation. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's the only nation that you niggas is ever going to get from these niggas is donation, man. What type of nation do y'all want? Donation, don't forget. So we have the Africans over here playing with me, and I know better. They brainwashing folks into this religion of this white supremacy, and the African to come over here talking about some, I didn't like black people. Akata. They are Akata. Fuck nigga, you can call me whatever you want to call me, but I don't do no shit like this. And the majority of Africans do. You feel me? So if they not Muslim, they Mason. You people have no idea how many Freemason Africans it is. You have no idea that one of the Freemason headquarters is in South Africa. You have no idea that is why South Africa is booming economically, because they are buying in and selling out. And if you would, like me, vote some type of way while Donald Trump is in office, and if his redneck conspirators for white supremacy is so, in disagreement to Martin Luther King, he will support what we support, and that is the demolition of the Martin Luther King statue. So we should go get a giant wrecking ball, and we should blow that motherfucker to smithereens, not terroristically or like vandalism, but legally through a vote. And once we get the vote passed, we can go ahead and tear this shit down and let everybody know we not playing. So, like I say, he is bought and paid for. He's a Freemason. It's no way around this shit. It's no way around it. So is no debate. So I'm the first one to bring it up. As of lately, I ain't gonna say I'm the first one to, bring it up, because obviously I had to get the post. You know what I'm saying? I had to get the post from somebody, but I'm bringing it up again this year in 2019. I'm the first one to bring it up. Let's boycott Martin Luther King's birthday on YouTube and surrounding. Whenever somebody bring up those civil rights, let's let them know that we want human rights. Okay, so this video don't have to be that long, because I just want to focus on human rights, which are rights that are inherent. That means you inherit these rights, and it is inherent to all human beings, regardless of race, sex, nationality, ethnicity, language, religion, or any other status. Human rights include the right to life and liberty, freedom from slavery and torture, freedom of opinion and expression, the right to work and education, and many more. If somebody is guilty of these human rights, then they can go down, especially a government. It's called the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And that's what we should have been doing. We should have been declaring our human rights instead of looking for some civil rights to mix in with some pale European white supremacists. So it's called the Universal the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And what we want to do is bring the Negro, blacks, and colored in to indigenous rights. We're teaching you your nationalities. We're teaching you that you are not Negro, blacks, colors, Coons, Jacks, Africans, Ethiopians, Jigs, Coons, whatever they came up with. Jive turkeys and whatever. So human rights is something that we really take serious, and that's what we are on in the Chicago Folks and People Nation, which is a mixture of our people who stem from various backgrounds. And I can go on and on about that. But we are not in the gang. We are not criminals. That is false. We are not black supremacists. We are indigenous people united. Simple. And I'm one of the spokesmen. So human rights is what we are after in Chicago, and we do not want civil rights. We want to be separate from Europeans, and we will have that before 2020. This is the year for that. When the census comes, we will already have independence from Europeans, some of us, but not all of you. But we are sitting up here informing you before the clock strikes 12. Before the clock strikes 12, we're going to keep flooding you with all the information, hoping that many of you wake up. To the lies and trickery of the traitors like Eunice Rivers and these whited out goofy celebrities who would do anything for money. Because I, had the opportunity to be rich, play professional sports, and make a lot of money. And, I've never been really hurting like that. But at the same time, I don't really care about money. I've never been a money guy like that. I'm not materialistic like that. But I've always been, spiritual and in tune with the Most High, which is Ra to me and Allah in me. So I caught Martin Luther King with his hands in the cookie jar. And then he got the nerve to sit up there and say, he don't know if he put his people in the burning house. Nigga, you didn't know. You had a college degree and you didn't know what a nationality was? You didn't know what birthrights was and constitutional law? You didn't know these things? What in the hell was you doing, Martin Luther King? And like I say, these is your best friends that are Masons. Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. What make me think you wasn't a Freemason? And I'm sure your family wouldn't even, they wouldn't even deny it. And as we see more Freemasons, and it is nothing wrong with exposing them at this point, and they don't even care because they're so drunk off the blood of children. They don't even care because they know at this point that you are all idiots. Because African Americans are not poor, they just have poor spending habits. So you spend billions on hair weave, billions on video games, billions on gym shoes, billions on weed, billions on cars, billions on phones, billions on clothes, billions in the church, billions at the club. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Estimated at $45 billion a year you spending on this. And the Justice Department rakes in annually $450 billion. So out of that $500 billion, I want to say you are responsible for at least $300 billion. So $300 billion a year. And you probably are spending $1 trillion a year. I would not be surprised if Negroes are not spending $1 billion a year. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. So this video is over, and of course, I will do another one, my people, because this is about the Negro sellouts, and I disagree about celebrating Martin Luther King's birthday. I don't care if he said, we was here before they landed at Plymouth. Before they came over here, we was here. I don't give a damn. He gotta go because he should have never been mingling with these fucking white supremacists, and he should have never been a Freemason. He made that choice to leave his natural self, and he wanted to be integrated with Harry Belafonte. He got the integration he wanted. He got what he was looking for. Now you got the Chinese integration. You have the Chinese dog food, the Chinese dogs in your food, and you have the Indian hair weave, and you have a whole lot of confusion going on out there. If you understand what I'm saying right here. If you understand what I'm saying, there's a lot of confusion going on. And Rosa Parks was a Communist Party member who worked as a secretary for NAACP, a communist Jewish banker front. So they spending all their money putting it in these organizations, cleaning up their money. And she worked directly for them to cause confusion so they can run on in on us, and get more up in our business. So she got a stamp and everything, and I don't have to do a video on her because you get the picture with Martin Luther King. Rosa Parks' birthday ain't as important as Martin Luther King, so I don't give a damn about her right now. The Freemason agenda is exposed. Marcus Garvey is a clown to me, nigga. And these organizations called Black Power Cartel is based on this nigga. You're not supposed to make fun of these people who think they Negroes and blacks because they don't understand what you're saying. They don't understand that terminology. They just saying, we are black people, brother. We are black people. What are you saying? Look at your skin. Look at your hair. You are black. So we are talking to fucking retards. When a nigga talking about, we are black. We are African. You don't even know you talking to a fully functioning retard. Do you understand when you have some people who can't comprehend constitutional law and incorporated law and incorporated ordinances and rules and regulations and statutes? They don't understand when you tell them what is a statute, a law, or ordinance. They have no idea. So let alone can they comprehend what a black is or an African or an Afro. So they don't know that this clown was working with clowns like this to dupe niggas. Because nobody wants to do nothing but dupe niggas. Because, if this nigga can call you African Americans and you just get to calling yourself African Americans, that just goes to show you that you can get a nigga to down there do anything. Because they some following ass niggas. Look at this European. Wanna be looking broad. Marcus Garvey was a Zionist. It's already been exposed. He didn't have a struggle with Zionism. He is a Zionist and a Freemason. And on top of that, I'm on top of it. And I got the Negro sellouts right where I want them. All of them. And if y'all trust in me and my information, we'll eliminate every one of their legacies like they're trying to do the R. Kellys of the world. If R. Kelly gotta go, they all gotta go. Mr. T even gotta go. They all gotta go. I'm not playing with no Hollywood niggas, no television niggas when it come to my birthright and my land. If you made it to the Negro sellout series, it's pretty much a wrap for you. It's pretty much a nothing you can do. And as you can see, I got a lot of these cats in my sellout series. And I got information on them that automatically exposes them as Negro American sellout. Now, I want to let you know, if you was in school dissing the brothers with the books in their hand for the gangster thugs with the dope, and then years later you popping up with the babies, and you see the brother who stayed in school balling, I put you in the Negro sellout series too. And that goes for the brothers too, who diss the librarian sisters and the scientific sisters, for the Lakeishas and Shamikas and Taquitas. You in here too, and you in here too. And this video is over with because, you got the black billionaires flexing on their own culture. They could be hiring their own culture, building empires of wealth and ending black poverty, like I said. So, let me end this video by breaking down the African American, prominent African, I gave out a lot of information in this video. Now let's just go down the long list of prominent African Americans. We have Barack Obama. We have Beyonce. And I'm about to do a whole nother video on the African Americans, the Moors, and the Aborigines all at once. Breaking down all they sellouts. See, we have billionaires, African Americans. Barack Obama, Beyonce, the #1 Negroes. Michael Jordan, Michelle Obama, Serena Williams. This is big money. Will Smith, Chris Rock, Tina Turner, Tiger Woods, Whoopi Goldberg, Tupac, Dr. Dre. We talking billions now. And the list goes on. We'll go all day, with all that money that they can went on ahead and end the white supremacy overnight. So that's why I'm going to start the conversation with Martin Luther King. And once y'all help me condemn him in this holiday, that will show the world that we have the power to condemn all the other ones that come up under him. Because on his birthday, he going to make about $1 billion off these niggas even while he dead. And I'm against that because I know this nigga was laying in bed with these folk. I'm against that. And I don't want to share my God-given land in America, which is Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, etc., east of the Mississippi, Michigan, Illinois, Minnesota, all the way to Sarasota. So we got land to collect and reclaim. I don't got time to play. So I want to go on for they big dogs instead of worrying about Dan Calloway and Sarasu and Seti people. That's why I went on ahead and shut them down with facts. Dan Calloway and Seti. And you know, everybody else who done subscribe, they know what it is. You know, we going for the big dollar. Sarasu and Seti and Dan Calloway not making no $1 billion on no one holiday. This joker is. And he gotta go. The nigga probably faked his death like Tupac. You understand me? He probably faked his death with a Hollywood fucking script, and with all those fake witnesses could have been Hollywood actors. Now he's making $1 billion a year off your backs. Off your money that could have been going to our empire of greatness led by the greatest, Rise Elite. So I'm going to end this video because I'm only going to get in my feelings. You know, because if you look at Black Panther, it made $25.2 million in 24 hours from an audience of predominantly 98.3% Afro-American, and we can't support and start more black businesses and banks. Why? So you spent $25 million in 24 hours on a movie, but you can't come together for black solidarity or Negro solidarity, more so. Okay, but you coming on my videos talking about Dan Calloway is the truth, ain't you? You coming over my videos talking about I'm wrong for talking about the Africans, ain't you? And guess what? I don't care. I'm not going to stop because just like Dick Gregory said, you are at fault too for being asleep. And I want to let you know, thumbs up or thumbs down. Not all you melanin is good melanin. And, you know, yeah, you getting distracted. But we're going to expose you. We're going to tell on the Negroes. We're going to tell on the blacks, the Africans. We're going to tell on any dirty Moors out there, any dirty Muslims. And, of course, we got to get to the cherry on top, which is pale male, white European supremacy terror. We got to get to them. And the only way we can get to them is to get through the Boule Freemasons, starting with Martin Luther King Jr. And I want to boycott him. I want to boycott his birthday. I don't want to celebrate it anymore. Could you please share this video? Could you please share this picture with your friends and family? Because out of all of the conscious community success and the Aboriginal success, I know you know who the Rothschilds is and the Rockefeller Foundation is. You know who they is. You know who the Christian Negroes is. And if you keep on allowing this fuckery, you are guilty too. Guess what? What if I told you you are accessories? Would that wake you up? Because I'm informing you. And if you click on this video, you know the truth now. So inform your friends and family that Martin Luther King is a sellout, traitor, Freemason / criminal that should have been brought to justice, as well as his cohorts, friends, family, and associates should not be given any forms of reparation, any forms of retribution or reward, and their holiday should not be a national holiday, says I. And if you have any questions, any disagreements, I would love to take it up with you in the comment section. Peace out and holla back.